Hello, everyone. This is Melinda Russell with Women's Motorsports Network and the International Women's Motorsports Association, and this is Let's Talk Racing. With me tonight is my co-host, Brett Timmerman. Hi, Brett. How's it going?
Not bad. How's everybody doing?
Good, good. It's pouring down rain here in Michigan. It's been raining really, really hard today, and Berlin Raceway, north of us, a little ways, probably about an hour and a half from me north, had their big Money in the Bank race tonight, and I'm afraid I haven't seen, but I'm afraid probably got canceled. And they had Eric Jones and some other NASCAR drivers are there to race, and so I'm feeling really bad for my friend Jeff Striegel that runs that track because that's such a big night for them, and then to have the weather not cooperate. So
Weather
it's really frustrating when that happens.
weather hasn't been good to any racetracks this year.
No, it really hasn't. And it's been that during the week it's been nice, and then on the weekends it's crappy, and then here his race is the middle of the week and then it's pouring down rain. So I don't know, but it's frustrating. So well, our guest is with us. This is Riley Joe Lively. Riley, her dad reached out to me, and so I started following Riley on Facebook and that, and then we connected. And so we wanted to have her on the show tonight. So, Riley, welcome to the show.
Hi,
So, Riley, why don't you start by telling us a little bit about yourself? So, maybe like how old you are, where you live, do you have any pets or brothers and sisters, that kind of thing.
I live in Ritorado, Texas. I'm 8 and I'm about to turn 9 in 9 days, and I have two pets, Race and Bella, and I live in Ritorado, Texas.
Okay. And are those dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Dogs. So you have two dogs. I like the name Race. That's a
Thank
good
you.
name. That's a really good name for a pet. So I like that. Let me turn the comments on here. Um, all right. So Riley, why don't you start? I know your dad's sitting there, so you're welcome to have him help you if there's anything that we stump you. But I think these are going to be easy questions for you. So why don't you start by telling us what kind of a car you race, and like where do you normally race, and then how did you get started in racing?
I race a PRC. I have another car that's a QRC, and I race at Silver Dollar Speedway. And I've been around racing my whole entire life. So my parents asked me if I want to race, and I said yes.
Okay, so explain to me what those kinds of, you said there you have a PRC and a Q something.
QRC.
QRC.
Okay, so what kind of a is that a go-kart? Is it a quarter midget? Explain that so if somebody doesn't know what that is. What kind of a vehicle is that?
It's an outlaw cart.
Outlaw car.
It's an outlaw cart. Okay, awesome. And you've been around racing your whole life, all 8 years of your life. That's a long time. So did your dad race or your mom, or why have you been around racing for so long?
No.
We're going to let
So the
dad
first
answer.
time she was actually at the track, I took her to our local track, Route 66. She was 4 weeks old.
Okay.
Um, Her mom used to race Cyclones, and I've just always been a part of a pit crew or helped on cars basically since I can remember. So it's just kind of in her blood. When she was a baby, the only way we could get her to stop crying, we'd have to play a sound of a dirt track car starting up, just idling, and she'd go right to sleep. But if,
Oh,
and it's crazy because like she would know the difference. Like if it was like a drag car or something like that, it wouldn't work. But as soon as we put like a late model or something like that, she knew and go right to sleep.
oh goodness. Well, that's funny. So they make sound machines. My grandkids have them to go to sleep, but I don't think there's a dirt car sound on any of those sound machines that I've heard. So that's pretty cool. So Riley, you started as a young girl listening to all that, and it was Must have been a soothing sound if it put you to sleep for sure. Yeah. So how many years have you been racing? How old were you when you started?
I started when I was 5 years old, and this is my 4th year of racing.
Okay. So why don't you tell me what's your favorite thing about racing?
I like to win and have fun.
Yeah, those are good answers. So, I think Brett was telling me a little something that you did something over the weekend. So, why don't you tell us about that? What happened over the weekend?
Uh,
Happened Friday.
You and two other
I won.
girls. You won. You had to think about it. And so, did you have some other girls on the podium with you?
Yes.
So what happened? What kind of a record did you set? Do you remember?
History?
You made history.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was it that the three of you did that made history?
There was 3 girls on the podium.
Three girls on the podium for the first time. And what track was that at?
Silver Dollar Speedway.
Okay. And
Number
do you know those girls' names? Let's give them a shout out.
My best friend Berkeley got second, and what's the third one? Tylee.
Tylee got third. All right. And are they all about the same age as you?
Uh, my best friend is 9, and I don't know how old the other girl is.
Okay. Probably close to your age though, I would guess, right? Yeah. Brett,
Do
do you have some questions for her?
they all have really pretty carts too, like yours?
Yes,
Whose is better looking?
mine.
What color is it?
Pink, green, black, and gray.
Okay. And what number do you run?
170.
Okay. Did you pick that number or did they give you the number?
My dad played football. His number was 70, and my mom raced. Her number was 17, so we came up with 170.
Oh, very good. Very good.
So at the racetrack, what do people call you? Do they call you Riley, or what's your nickname?
Arjo.
Arjo? Is that what you prefer everybody calls you?
Yes.
So how many, do you know off the top of your head how many feature wins you have in your 4 years of racing?
No.
Is it a lot?
17, I think.
We have
I think you have 17.
hold on. We have a whole line in our shop that is 25 foot long, and those are all filled with flags.
Wow.
Um,
So about how many wins is that? Do you know? Ask your dad. Maybe he knows.
Uh,
I think it's 17.
no, it's not 17.
I think it is.
24 something.
24.
24.
24. You better count. So
Oh.
the next time I know, when I ask you the next time, you'll know.
He's gonna look.
He's going to look. Okay, we'll see who was right.
I thought I seen it on the.
17.
Okay.
You had 6 your first year, 3 your second year, 7 last year, and 1 so far this year.
Okay. That's pretty good.
Arjo, I like 24 better.
That's the number you're aiming for. At the end of this year, you're going to have 24, right? Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So, when you get in your cart to race, what are you thinking about? Are you focused on winning? What are you thinking about?
I'm like thinking about confidence and winning.
And winning. Okay.
Do you have anything that you tell yourself when you're sitting in the car waiting to go?
No.
Just
No.
keep focused. Do you stay quiet sitting there? Do you talk to your dad, or what do you do?
You can always tell when she's in a good mood because even over all the other cars running, you can hear her singing in her car.
I do not sing.
Okay, so what do you sing? What's your favorite song to sing?
Dirt. Track thing, dirt.
Yeah. It's okay to sing in your car because that's music always makes us, everybody has a song that they like to get pumped up to do whatever it is they do. So that's a really good thing. So we have a question here from one of our listeners. She says, Dad, what is it like to see your daughter out there racing and carrying on the family's tradition?
I think honestly, I get more nervous than she does because I don't ever, when I make changes, I'm always afraid I made the wrong changes and it's going to slow her down instead of give her more speed. And then within the first couple laps, I usually kind of calm them nerves and she goes out there and does her thing. And, but yeah, I think I honestly get more nervous than she does. Not like for a safety reason, just that I made the right changes to get her in the front.
So Brett, you can relate to that, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a dad feeling because I raced for 20 years and I would get, my adrenaline would flow, but my adrenaline flows a lot more watching my daughter on the racetrack or even my son too. I mean, because you're right, making them changes is definitely a very, very important. And if you make the wrong one, you go backwards. And we discovered that a couple weeks ago. And, you just learn from them mistakes. And it sucks because that's the only way that you can figure out if your kart's going to work or not. You don't get a practice session all the time.
Yeah, and this is our fourth year in the whole go kart thing, but I'm not used to the go karts. I'm used to the bigger cars, and the changes and stuff to this are like completely backwards to me than what they are on like the big cars. And things that should like give her more RPM seem to take RPM away. So definitely just trying to still learn and make sure I make the right changes to continue to get her faster every time.
Yeah, it's trial and error for sure.
Yeah. So Riley, when you're out driving your car, are you able to give your dad some feedback about the cart, like it's doing this or it's doing that? So are you learning like how things feel and you can tell him what it's doing?
Yes.
Yeah. And that just comes with practice, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we've kind of, she's still at a younger age, so she can't really tell me if it's tight or loose, but she can tell me if the car drives easy or if it's hard to drive. So I mean, we kind of simplify the terms a little bit and it's really the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Riley, do you have any who's a world famous driver that you look up to?
Chase Elliott and McKenna Hassey.
Oh.
Have you met McKenna?
No.
You have not? She's really awesome. She races at Knoxville. Knoxville's right by me. That's where we race. Adriana and Drake race there too. So not on the big track, but on the go-kart track. But I'll be seeing McKenna tomorrow. We're doing a car show, basically a driver meet and greet right over by Knoxville. So I'll tell McKenna you said hi.
We actually have one of McKenna's wing panels hanging up in our shop.
Oh, that's very cool.
Do you watch her on American Ninja Warrior?
Yeah. So here's another question. What other ages of kids do you race against and who is your biggest competition?
I race against 9, 8, and the biggest competition is my best friend.
Okay.
We always put on a show every single race.
Okay. So you race hard against each other, but yet you're best friends when you get off the track, right? Yeah.
You ever get
That's
mad?
the way it should be.
You ever get mad at her?
No.
That's good. It's supposed to be all about fun. Even though you want to win, it's all about fun, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. So Dad, I know she's kind of young, but so you might have to help with this, but Riley, what is your goal to do? You're only 8 years old, almost 9. In 9 days, you're going to be 9 years old. I heard you say that. So, as you get older, what is it that you want to do with racing? Do you have a goal down the road somewhere?
Yes.
What is that goal?
When I grow up, I wish to race at NASCAR.
Oh, you're going to be a NASCAR driver? Awesome. So, do you know who Natalie Decker is and Haley Deegan?
Yes.
Yes. So, Natalie Decker is a good friend of mine. She races some. in NASCAR, and then Haley Deegan is breaking the ground, breaking the ceiling, as we say, for women. And so, won't be too long. Maybe you can be up there racing against her. That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. So you've got some steps to take to go from cage kart to NASCAR, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And do you race asphalt or dirt?
Dirt.
Dirt. Okay, so you're going to have to switch to asphalt somewhere along the line.
Are there any asphalt tracks close to you guys?
Not that I know of. Mainly everything around here is dirt.
Okay. So K Dub wants to know, what is your favorite track to race at and why? So is Silver Dollar the only track you go to?
We went to this one track, Lubbock, just one time, and they kind of kicked us out.
Oh, they did? Why?
Well, I was faster than the other cars, and I lapped them in like one lap.
Oh dear. People don't like getting beat, do they?
No.
No. And were there
And I was
was
the
it
only girl in the class.
and you were the only girl and you beat all the boys and they said you need to go back where you came from, little girl, right? Well, that's too bad because those little boys needed to learn that it doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy. When you get in the cart, you're all the same, right? Yeah. So is there a track you'd like to go to and
Silver
race at?
Dollar.
The what is it?
Is there another one you want to go to?
Do you have another track that you've heard of that you'd like to race at?
No.
Not really.
I want her to go to Millbridge and race.
No.
Oh yeah.
No.
Why don't
Oh
you?
no. Go ahead, Brett.
Why don't you want to go to Millbridge?
I don't know.
It's
That's where
scary.
Stin and all them race.
I still don't.
You are. Hey, I've watched some of your videos. I think you can beat some of them boys.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying to talk me into a junior sprint so she can go run the Tulsa shootout.
That'd be awesome too. You got to go run Millbridge though so you get used to running with some really really tough competition.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
it's all about.
don't be afraid to go there because those kids all started the same as you did. And you don't know, sometimes you've got to go and race against some tougher competition to make yourself better. And that's how you learn and you get to be a better driver. So I would love to go to Millbridge and watch because I just keep hearing so much about it. And so it's on my list of places that I want to go to watch, and it's not just kids, is it, Brett? Is it all ages of people race there?
For the most part, it's a kids track, but they do run micro sprint specials.
Yeah.
And mainly, basically about like English Creek, but I don't think they might have the 500 open class. I can't remember if Millbridge has that. I think they do have that. That's the one.
Okay.
So it's basically like English Creek.
Okay. All right. So English Creek is a really fun track too. I've been there. That's where Adriana races. I saw Brexton Bush race there. Who else, Brett? Is there anybody else?
Kelly Earnhardt's.
Right. Wyatt Miller. Yep. So that's a pretty competitive track. I know that's not close to Texas, but Kinley Smith is from Texas, isn't she, Brett?
Yep.
She raced there last summer, I'm pretty sure. So they have the Nationals? What do you call that, Brett, at that track?
It's called the Wing Kart Nationals. It's a 2-day show, and I think last year we had like 140. They only raced wing karts, so there was 140 wing karts there in several different classes. But there's English Creek. Last year we did a picture there with all the girls that race, and I do believe that it was a 40% ratio. 40% of the racers at English Creek are females.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of girls there, which is really cool. That was fun to go there and meet all those girls and watch them race. So that's a lot of fun for me. So Riley, how's your mom feel about you racing?
He might know.
We're both okay with it. We know she's just as safe in a race car as she is a car going down the road. I mean, with all the safety that, the helmet, the Hans device, the 5-point harness, the full containment seat. I mean, she's just as safe in that race car as she is the car to get to the track. So it doesn't, safety wise, it doesn't really bother either one of us, you know. And we just like seeing her have fun. So
Yeah. And
What?
it is fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, what class is it she races in?
this year she's in junior one.
Junior one.
Okay. So, about how fast do you go? Do you know how fast your cart goes?
He knows.
I think they're averaging about 40 to 45 miles an hour.
Okay. That's pretty fast for an 8-year-old, I would think. So, Ashley Lively, do you know who that is?
That's my mom.
Oh, it says mom loves her racing. Very proud of her. Awesome. Thanks, Ashley, for sharing that with us so that we can let everybody know that moms are supportive behind the scenes. Dad probably helps you with the car, right? So what does your mom do? Does she help with the car at all?
She takes pictures.
Oh, that's important. And she probably does your social media stuff for you, right?
Kind of.
Kind of. Yeah. So when you go to school, what do your classmates think about you being a race car driver?
I'm kind of like the famous one in our class.
Mhm. Yeah. And do they ask you about your races and how you did and all that, or do they come and watch you race ever?
Not really.
Some of them have.
Some of them have. Yeah. How far away is the track from where you live?
30 minutes or so.
Hey, I
Not far.
got it.
Sorry.
Not that far. So it's close, right? Yeah. So tell me, Riley, tell me something about racing, or just talk to me here for a minute. What is it about being involved in racing, and just tell me what does it mean to you to be a race car driver, and why do you do it?
I don't know.
Just think about it for a second. Do you choose to go to the racetrack on the weekend instead of maybe playing softball or going to the movie or whatever? What is it about going to the racetrack that you like instead of doing some of those other things?
I kind of get to meet like new drivers that come there.
Yeah. And do you're probably one of the ones at the track that's there all the time. So do you go out and reach out to the new drivers and welcome them and that, or how do you do that? Do you try to make new friends there?
Yes.
Yes. So K-Dub says, "Can you pan the camera and show us one of your cars?"
I got it.
Come on, Dad.
Oh yeah, there's a car. Pretty cool looking. And then is that the regular car or the backup cart?
Back up.
That's the backup cart. So you have two carts.
That's
Now,
the car that we have set up for Junior 2. We're going to do a little bit of Junior 2 racing.
okay.
So that car's set up for Junior 2.
All right. So tell me what's the difference between Junior 1 and Junior 2? Do you know, Riley?
It's just a little bit bigger restrictor plate in between the engine.
Okay. So it just goes a little faster?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know a lot about kart racing, as Brett will tell you. I'm learning. I'm kind of an asphalt oval kind of gal. And so you have to explain to me more about the kart racing because I'm just learning. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I seen that McKenna Hassey wing hanging up there. I think I need that for my garage.
Do you have any other questions for her, Brett?
Oh, right. Hey, what do you do? Do you have a favorite food that you eat before you go racing?
No.
No?
I eat anything.
Anything? We always stop by McDonald's. That's a favorite food is McDonald's.
Mine too.
I
Yours
think
too.
her favorite would probably be chicken nuggets.
Oh yeah. for sure. Typical kid. She likes chicken nuggets. Yeah. Do you have any kind of a good luck charm that you carry with you or you have in your car when you race?
Oh, I shut up.
What?
My good luck charm on my car.
Okay.
No.
And you
You
got
gonna
it.
show it to me?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Some girls have special socks they wear or a certain hair thing they wear. So, what is your good luck charm?
That memory stuff.
Oh, look at that. She's got a
She
rowdy.
she has a in memory of sticker of some of the people who have supported her through the years that she owns
Oh,
in her car.
that's awesome, Riley. I love that. That's awesome. And then you have a rowdy. You have what was the rowdy thing in your car?
It's my gas tank.
Okay. So do you like drinking that?
Sometimes.
Yeah, we do too. Brett and I both like that too. Yep. See, he's got one there. Mine are in the fridge, staying cold.
I seen it. I seen Rowdy Energy on your all your sponsors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you
So
want to tell us who your sponsors are?
she's got a bunch of them. Hope you're ready.
Dad, something happened.
No,
I
you're there.
didn't. Oh,
You're still here. Who
I
are your
can't find the
sponsors?
camera.
You can't see the camera.
I can see you though. So tell me who your sponsors are.
I have Ashton Express Tax, Camille, Camille. How do you say it?
No, Fritzler.
I know. I can't say it.
Camille, physical therapist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Walk Nasty.
Hey,
I know.
quit moving around the car, baby. You're making everybody dizzy.
A little bit. Rick Lizzie.
Sorry.
That's okay.
She
Lizzie Gator.
has quite a few, so it's hard for her to remember all of
Yeah,
them.
I know she can't remember them all.
And Kayla.
But as I like that she has them all on the car and she wants to give them a shout out because we can't race without our partners, can we? You
No.
depend on all those people to help you. Yeah. So, Dad or Riley, either one, what is something that you'd like to share about Riley, her driving, her wins that we haven't asked you about?
That's you a question.
We get a lot of compliments of her of just how smooth of a driver she is. For not really having much racing experience, she does fairly well. She doesn't get in a lot of wrecks. She doesn't beat and bang with other drivers. For the most part, she's smooth. She's very consistent. There's a lot of times her lap times for the entire race will be within a half a second of each other.
Wow.
So, she doesn't have the big, super fast lap and then a slower lap, so she's very consistent. As many as accomplishments as she has in the racing side of it, I think some of her biggest accomplishments are what she's been able to do with her racing platform for our community. She did a backpack giveaway last year where she gave away 500 plus backpacks full of school supplies to kids in need.
Mm-hmm.
We've done 2 toy drives where we've donated probably close to $5,000 worth of toys to less fortunate kids. We did a canned food drive last year. She donated 300 pounds of food.
Wow.
So, we're just trying to teach her. She has a great platform through racing to give back to our community and, help make it better, and not do what some of the athletes do and, don't use their platform for the right reasons.
Right. And that's admirable, especially at 8 years old, because I know we did a story about her in the magazine and wow, the number of backpacks, I was impressed because a lot of the tracks do that, back to school night, and the drivers bring a backpack, and then they give them away, but 500 of them is a lot of backpacks.
Yeah, we partner with 806 Cars, which is one of her sponsors, and this year our goal is actually 1,000 backpacks.
Wow.
But it's not just a come grab a backpack and leave. I mean, we cooked food last year. We had Crime Stoppers did the photo ID cards for the kids, and the entire event was free. So,
Mm.
we just tried to make a event where kids could come have a little bit of fun and take a little stress off the parents of getting some school supplies and backpacks for the year.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's really amazing, and as she grows, the things that she's going to do to give back are just going to get bigger.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm going to commend you as parents because a lot of parents don't have that kind of mindset where they want to teach their kids about giving back, especially at this young of an age. And so, it takes the parents too to get involved. She can't organize that all by herself, I'm sure. So you and your wife, Ashley, I'm sure had a big hand in that.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of work, but it's worth it. When you see the smile on the kids' faces who got a backpack, who might not have got a backpack if it wasn't for that event.
Right.
So it's definitely worth all the hard work put into it.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's pretty cool. Has she got anything planned for this year yet, or you're still thinking on it?
We have our backpack giveaway coming up. We've got to start getting it planned. Like I said, our goal is to double what we did last year. And then, once Christmas and Thanksgiving time, we'll do our canned food drive again. We'll do our toy drive again.
Yeah.
We also volunteer once a month with a local organization. It's called Fill with Hope, and they pack hope totes for kids. It's just snacks and different things like that they hand out to kids in schools to make sure they have snacks throughout the week.
Okay. Pretty giving family, I think, aren't they, Brett?
Yes, they are for sure. I was gonna make sure that we mentioned that. I had it pulled up here. I'm glad that he brought it up instead of me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anything else that you can think of that we should discuss or talk about?
No.
No. So, do you know Cordell McFarlane?
Yes.
Okay. Cordell says, always doing good for Amarillo. That was his comment. So, that's a nice thing for him to say, isn't it? Yeah. Awesome. Well, Riley, when are you going to race again? What's your next race coming up?
We're June 17th.
Okay. And that's at your same track that you always go to. So that's coming up in another week or so. And then we'll be able to get on social media and see how you did. So can you tell us on social media where we can find you?
Argo Racing.
ArjoRacing.com.
Yes.
Arjo Racing.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
You
Okay.
just all.
Well,
All your social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Arjo Racing, right?
Yeah.
And do you do any TikToks yet?
We're seeing which ones are the best.
Okay. Yeah. You can't do everything, can you? There's just not enough time. So Cordell says that you are actually his daughter's role model. That's a pretty nice thing too. Do you think of yourself as a role model for other kids? Do you think that other kids look up to you?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, because you sounds like you're a good driver, and it seems like you're a pretty nice young lady. So I think you're a good role model, especially for other girls in motorsports, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So K Dub, she's a friend of mine. She was on one of my podcasts, and she says, "Good luck to you, young lady." And then here's another comment from Boston Patrick. Do you know who that is?
My brother.
Oh, so it says, "I love you, Arjo. We are all so proud of you." Does that make you smile?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It's nice. it's nice when a brother has nice things to say, right? Yeah. Anything else, Brett, that you can think of?
No, I'm just scrolling through her page here real quick and making sure we got everything. And it looks like we did. It looks like your next race is called the Battle of the Bull Ring.
Yes.
Is that a big race? Does it bring a lot of people?
It's actually my birthday on that day.
Oh,
Well, we're gonna see you with a trophy with a birthday cake then.
yeah. So Cordell says, Skylar says hello. And then we have Stephen Hamilton says, love my Arjo. Glad to help her every season. So is he somebody that helps you at the track?
It's K3 Towing.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
That is one of her sponsors, K3 Towing.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, he's listening in. And so thanks for sponsoring Arjo. We love to see businesses sponsor all kids, but especially young gals in motorsports. So we want to say thank you to Stephen Hamilton for being one of your sponsors, right? Yeah.
Let's make sure we get all your sponsors. I'm gonna go as long as they're updated on your webpage. I'm gonna name them off. Okay.
Okay.
So she has Scott Land Company. She has Lazy Gator Seafood and Burgers, and it's a bar. And Rick Luby Homes, K3 Towing, Chapman Family Insurance. Looks like AAA Windshield and Glass, Total Works Chiropractic, 806 Sports. It says the fans' voice. V5 Builders, Modern Image Signs, Camille Fritzler, physical therapist, Cool Horse Trailer Service, Ashton Express Tax, Street VW, Cars Paintless, or CARS Paintless Net Repair. Does that sound like all of them?
We're missing a few. She had a few come on board this year that we hadn't had a chance to update. We had the White Family Racing come on board with us this year. S&S Sports Card and Memorabilia, Mesilla Valley Transportation, O'Reilly's, Upward Benefit Solutions, Kryptonite Pit Lights, Leopard and Pearl Boutique, Red, White, and Boom Fireworks, Sweet Nasty Fabrication, Walk Nasty, Powder Max. They're a powder coating place. Cox Performance Racing Engines, best in the business. Amsoil, Wicked Customs, Chugger Lugger. And I think that's it. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry.
I'm going to go.
You
missed V5.
No, he said V5. And then we also run Amarillo's Silver Dollar Speedway.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question there, Dad. How do you get so many sponsors? Because, I mean, I know it takes a lot of work, and that's the number one thing I hear from people is sponsorship. I can't find anybody to sponsor me. What do I do? What do I say? How do I do it? She's got a list as long as your arm. So
She does. I think we have 35 sponsors this year.
That's just crazy. So how did you come about doing that?
I think a lot of it is what she does in the community. Our car, doesn't sit in the shop except Friday nights. We're doing parades, car shows. We're getting their business name out there for everyone to see. They're getting their money's worth being on her car. Mm-hmm. Any of the events we hold, between the backpack giveaway, we host a trunk or treat at Halloween. Any of those events, her cars are going to be there on display for people to see, kids to sit in.
Hand out candy.
Yeah.
And for one, it doesn't hurt that we have a girl in a, male dominant sport, so that
right.
A little bit of what as well, I think. But just what we do in the community, I think helps her being, a good driver, not going out there wrecking everybody, her driving style, what she does, and then just don't be afraid to be told no. I mean, you never know if someone will sponsor you or not until you ask them. So
that's true. And I love what you said about your cars out there and you're out in the public all the time. Because that's the thing, and it's not only just going to get you some sponsors, but they're going to probably come and come to the racetrack. It helps your racetrack, probably get more people to come there. And Stephen Hamilton says, "And how do you say no to that cute little face?" So that's pretty fun. But yeah, I love that's great advice for people because sponsors, we used to think that your cart going around the track was enough, but it's not enough anymore. You have to be talking about them on social media. You have to be wearing their t-shirts. You have to go to their places of business and have an event. You have to do what you're doing. You know, do things out in the community, have the cars there, let the kids sit in them, get their pictures taken. That's a big deal if you're a little kid.
Yeah, and I know it's not the easiest doing all these car shows, parades and stuff like that. I think this year we've already entered 4 car shows that she's been a part of. But I mean, we did the Make a Wish car show here in Amarillo, and that put her. It's a 2-day car show indoors, but there was 4,000 people come through the door of that car show. So that put every one of these business logos in front of 4,000 people.
Yeah.
So and then some of her sponsors, Lazy Gator, we've taken the car up there and sat in front of the restaurant one night. S&S Sports Card, they had a break night where they, just had a little get together up there. So we took both cars up there and, set them out, had everyone looking at them. But I mean, we don't mind doing stuff like that. And I definitely think that helps with the sponsorship.
And I think her dance moves probably help too.
Yeah, where'd that shy little girl go?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I seen her drinking a rowdy energy, so
that's right. That rowdy energy's got her going. Well, Stephen, I've really enjoyed having you guys on tonight. Is there anything else that we should talk about before we let you go?
That's a question.
We, we're gonna finish our local track season here. It wraps up the middle of August. We plan on doing a lot more out of town racing this year, so hopefully we get to travel to some new tracks and get her learning different tracks and not just be so used to one track all the time.
Right.
I think we're going to try and run some of the MWRS indoor series this winter and do a little bit of traveling and see where we can go and maybe get to a bunch of new tracks.
That's awesome because that's only going to make her better. The more that she can experience new things, that's great. So Stephen Hamilton says, "I got you some gas money. You saw it here. I've got it in writing. So let's not forget he said that."
All right.
All right. Awesome.
We appreciate everything y'all do, Stephen. K3's been a big supporter of her since she started racing. They've been with us since day one. So
that's awesome.
If you're ever in this area and need a tow company, make sure to hit up K3 Towing.
Okay. Hopefully I don't need that, but you never know where you're going to be or what you're going to need. So that's always good to know for sure. So, well, Riley, I've really enjoyed meeting you through StreamYard, our platform here, and your dad. We are going to follow you and keep track of you, and then you do the same. Feel free to post things and tag Women's Motorsports Network. And then that way we'll see, what you're up to a little bit better. And I know Brett's following you too. So we'll keep track of what you're doing and you stay in touch with us. Okay.
Okay.
Welcome to our family, you guys.
Yeah. We always say when we interview people, now they're part of our race family. So welcome to the family.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys have a good night.
Good luck on today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh. To be young and have that much energy, Brett.
Yeah, she came to life right there towards the end, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. She was dancing in the background and that. And at 8 years old, you can't expect them to carry on a huge conversation because they're learning. They're learning about being interviewed, but it's part of the deal.
Yep.
And I thought she did great. I don't even remember, of course, I'm way old. I don't remember even being 8 years old, but most 8-year-olds are so shy, they're not even going to try to do this. And here she got on with us and and she had a lot of people following her tonight on the show, which is great. And I just love interviewing the kids.
Yeah, that's
They
yeah,
just have such a passion for what they're doing, and you never know what they're going to say.
yeah. That's you know, I think that's a big thing for me too. Is the kids. We can interview all the adults we want, and there's lots of adults out there, but these kids are our future, and that's what's going to keep women's motorsport in business and the women's motorsport network in business, and
Yeah.
all these tracks. So getting these kids involved, and one thing that we didn't talk about was her dad told us before the show that Arjo had like 6 girls come to the track and that's never been around racing, and they start having an interest in it now. So
Mhm.
that's awesome that she inspires all these younger girls in her area, and we hope
Yeah.
more inspirations happen all over the world and get women involved. And heck, before too long, there's enough women out there. There's going to be an all women's NASCAR or an all women's sprint.
Oh no, we like beating the boys.
Oh, I know. There just needs to be some special races out there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So I wanted to share with you just a little bit. I know last week we didn't have a show, um, because last week I was invited to go to actually Dearborn, Michigan. It was called. There's a new group called Women in Motorsports North America, and it was started by Beth Peretta, who's the owner of an IndyCar team, and Lynn St. James, who's a very famous former driver, IndyCar driver. And so, somebody says to me, "Oh, are kind of in competition with you?" No, not at all, because the things that they're doing are completely different than the things that I'm doing. And so, we're actually partnering together to, get more notice for women in motorsports. They're going to do like a mentorship program and some things. I don't have the time or the bandwidth to do all those things, but they are supporting, like if you go on their website, Women in Motorsports NA, North America it stands for, you'll see a whole list of groups that are involved, women in motorsports, and we're listed on there as one of them. And the event was amazing. They portrayed, there was a video that came out about a woman in racing, and I just lost her name. It just escaped me, but I'll post some things about it. um, Cindy Sisson, a friend of mine who does lots of events, and Lynn St. James and a couple other ladies put together this documentary about really the first woman racer. And she was just an amazing woman. And like I said, I completely lost her name, but I'll find it and I'll post where you can watch that video, because what an amazing story she had, and of how she just pursued racing when there were no women doing anything in racing. So I'm anxious to be a part of that group and to share down the road what they're doing. And I want to encourage everybody to check them out. It's Women in Racing NA. And if you're a woman in racing, or a guy who wants to support these groups, then check that out and support them, because they're doing great things. So that's why we didn't have a show last week, but we're on for the rest of the summer, as far as I know.
Yeah, for sure. It was busy. I could have done the show, but it was just after a holiday weekend, and
Yeah,
it was just a busy week, and I just figured we would just wait it out. So
yeah, for sure. So anything else that you know of, or any news you want to share, or
yeah, I wrote a few things down.
okay, go ahead.
Over the weekend, Taylor Reimer took third in the, I think it was the Illinois Midget Series, and which is pretty good, podium finish in that in the power
Right.
midgets. And then Kaylee Bryson has a new sponsor, which is Yahoo, which is that's a pretty big sponsor.
Big.
That's big time. That's the same sponsor as Kyle Busch, and I believe I read that next year Kaylee Bryson is going to be racing for KBM, so the
Mhm.
ARCA series. So we'll see how that
Yeah.
goes. She's got a busy 2023 ahead of her.
Yeah, she does. I'm excited for her.
Yeah,
I've Man, we're gonna get her on here one of these days. She's been so busy, trying to get her, but we'll get her on the show here soon. So
And then how about that bad Addison? You know, we had her on the show a couple weeks ago. She over the weekend she races 3 different classes and she picked up 3 different wins at the same track in 3 different classes. So
yeah,
she 3 wins in one night. That's pretty awesome. She's very talented, and I just enjoy. I watch her Facebook every day, and she has
yeah.
different talks every day. And she's her name says it all. She's a good. She's
And
gonna be.
she just makes me laugh out loud.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, just her facial expressions or whatever. She just totally makes me laugh out loud. So I love following her. If you don't follow her, it's bad. Adddyson. Her name is spelled Addison with a Y. Get on and follow her. She is a hoot. We love that girl.
yeah. You won't regret getting on her Facebook page. I promise you.
No.
And she's very talented in the racing business. And when we interviewed her, she said, she treats it as a profession, and she's
Hmm.
nice. So she knows where she's going. She knows what she
Yeah.
wants to do. And then I also have in the drag racing world, Erica Enders picked
Yeah.
up a win over the weekend.
Hmm.
And then the normal talk for the end of the show is my kids, and Adriana ran fourth. It was just a pretty mediocre weekend for her. Basically fourth all night. New setup. Didn't work the greatest, so we're throwing the book at it again. Drake, my son Drake finally finished the race. He hasn't finished the race probably 3/4 of the way last season is when his last race he finished. Everything kept breaking. We finally got that figured out, and he got 10th out of 24.
Good for him.
So it was a good weekend. No wins, but you don't have to win every weekend to have fun.
No. No. And then aren't you guys going to be in the show in Pella?
Yep.
What?
So tomorrow, if anybody's close by, Pella's about 2.5 hours from us, but Lori with Champion Race Promotions as part of the Pella city group or whatever, and
Chamber.
Chamber, yeah. And she hosts this event that's based on racing. Last year it was a pretty fun event. They had a lot of cars and
Hmm.
carts, different tracks, and it's sprint cars from Knoxville. We're hoping to get some World of Outlaw drivers there. Most of them don't roll into town till Friday, so it's hard to get them guys there. But
Yeah.
I know Rico's going to make an appearance without his car. He's going to be a little late. Hopefully she has a good turnout. It sounds
Yeah.
like it's going to be a good time. Come check it out if you're in the area. It's in Pella. It starts at 5:30 in the town square.
Hmm.
We're going to have our cart on display. Uh,
Yeah.
Good time. Lori works her butt off to plan this.
She does. And that's a great so last summer I was there. I got there on a Thursday night when they were having one of their Thursdays in the park. And I grew up in a small town, and back in the days when I was little, Brett, long time ago, we used to go to town on Saturday night. They blocked off the main street. They had like a they called it the bandstand. It rolled,
Yeah.
and the high school band played on the bandstand. The kids danced and ran around the bandstand. All the people brought their lawn chairs, sat along Main Street, visited with each other. This reminded me so much of that small town, everybody knows everybody, get together, the band's playing, the kids are running, and it's all in the park. It's a beautiful park. And I was just so kind of envious of living in a town that had that to enjoy with your neighbors, because I don't have that in Kalamazoo. The little town I grew up in, they don't do anything like that anymore. So for people to put the time and energy into putting those events together, and I know Lori's really involved there, especially with this one tomorrow night. So I just want to give kudos to her, and thanks to you too for going that far to take your car. I mean, that's just not easy, and gas is 5 something a gallon, and I mean it's not free, and you really get nothing out of it other than the enjoyment of sharing your car with the people that are there. So
Yeah, that's and just like Arjo's dad said, you got to get Lori's one of our sponsors and helps Adriana, so you got to get you help her out by people see her name on the car, and all of our other sponsors too. We got 20 other sponsors on the cart too
Right.
that we want to advertise. So
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. So
well,
hopefully you have good weather for that and go
supposed
for
to
it.
be 78 degrees. Last year it was like 90, so it's perfect. You can
Yeah.
stop by and get you one of our new hero carts,
Oh, look at that.
and it's got the
Wow.
on the back. And
That's a nice hero card.
so
Very nice.
I want to thank.
Awesome.
I need to thank Highline Raceway, Fiona Hush, for designing that. She does pretty awesome designs. So
Yeah. Well,
thanks, Fiona.
save me one of those, okay?
I will for sure.
If I ever get my office, I'm going to hang all that stuff up. So, all right. Well, it's been almost an hour, Brett, so I think we're probably going to have to get off of here, but thanks for joining me again,
Yeah,
being my co-host. Couldn't do this without you. Appreciate all your help, bud.
I appreciate you, and we'll hope everybody enjoyed the show and share the word, and
Yep.
let's get these women noticed and young girls.
And young girls for sure. All right. So, good night, everybody, and have a good week. We'll see you next Wednesday.
See you later.